So you're a new sales leader. Now what? We'll hear from a top consultant on the things not to do in this episode of Closing Time. Thanks for tuning in to Closing Time, the show for go-to-market leaders. I'm Dave Osborne, Chief Sales Officer at Insightly CRM, and I'm joined today by Meg Peterson, fellow Austin, Texas native, CEO and founder of On Deck Leadership Consulting. Thanks for joining, Meg.
Happy to be here.
Now, Meg, this seems like a pretty opportune time for us to be having this conversation as we're just about at the exact midpoint of 2024.
Yeah, absolutely. We are seeing a great transition back to tech is rebuilding. We're starting to see more hiring at all levels, from BDRs up to executives. We are in that final push of like, if you're going to make your 2024, if you're working off of a calendar fiscal year, it's make it or break it time. People are laser focused on doing what it takes to get the job done to hit plan. But also leaders are moving into planning for 2025. It's time to look at your comp plans, your quotas, your team makeup, your skill sets, making sure that you're set up for success. And that leads to having a lot on your plate. As a sales leader, as much as we want to say like, oh, I'm either really a player coach or I'm not really a player coach, we are all responsible for revenue. And we're there to engage with our customers and drive our sales teams to success, which means we building pipeline, we're on calls with customers, we're on calls internally to get the sales to the finish line, which means you got to have a plan.
100%. So a lot of folks maybe looking to transition jobs, start new jobs, both individual contributors and leaders. But maybe let's just focus on leaders just for a second. And we'll jump right into like 5 things or common mistakes that new sales leaders make when they join a new business, right?
Right. All the mistakes I made.
Right. I think we've all made them, right? And that's why we're talking about it. So hopefully you can learn from our gray hair a little bit. But I think mistake number 1, right, is coming in and trying to make an immediate impact and make changes all over the place just to show that you're providing initial value. So that's item 1.
Yeah. I mean, reality is as any leader, especially sales leaders, we expensive. And we know that about ourselves. And we have a lot to prove as sales leaders, especially for joining an organization that is struggling. And so the knee jerk reaction coming in as a sales leader is to say, well, this worked over here at X, Y, and Z organization that I was with. So we're just going to do it here and not taking the time to actually understand what is status quo today, what is working in the organization, and identifying what's not working, but the why behind it. It could be anywhere from they don't actually understand their ACP. I just read an article from a great sales leader around not understanding why customers are buying from you. Like, what is that repeatable motion? It could be all these different things. You got to take the time in the beginning to understand current state so you make informed decisions of change, but also what that change will impact. The last thing you want to do is rip out someone's lifeline and have no understanding of what that means to their day-to-day life or their ability to be successful.
Totally. And I think along with that, it's potentially managing expectations of the CEO or whoever you may be reporting to in that regard too, right? That I'm not coming in, I'm changing day one. I think first I want to understand like what's going well that we can continue to invest in and what's broken. And then from there kind of deciding like prioritization of what tasks, what things we can change and going from there. And I think on that, from a planning perspective, maybe sounds cliche, right? Like when you're talking, maybe going through the interview process, a lot of folks will kind of put together a 30, 60, 90 plan to present to just show that you're buttoned up. But in practicality, failing to build a 30, 60, 90 plan seems to be a common pitfall as well.
Yeah, it's just as much for you as it is for other people, but you should have a plan that you're comfortable executing on. It should have stretch targets. change management will be in there, your immersion plan will be in there, engaging with customers will be in there, like all these key things that are so important in your first 90 days. But just like we were talking about, get immersed, understand status quo. That's your 1 through 30. It should be around that. But have a plan, build it, and stick to it. Don't make it so fluid that it's not actionable or that it doesn't impact and instill value.
Well, I think along those lines as well is, and this kind of leads into number three, right? Make sure that plan isn't a secret, right? Like make sure that
Yeah.
people are aware of your intentions and how things are going to piece together, right? I mean, I would
Yeah.
imagine that's got to be a part of it, or something I've seen or heard of other sales leaders make that mistake as well.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely like print it out, send it out, align with your C-suite and your executive team because you're new. Like, and you should play that new card. Play that new card for the first 92 years. I don't know, however long you want to play
Yeah,
it
as
for.
long as you can.
But
Ask the dumb new
yeah, as
person
long as you
questions.
can. But you're coming into a business that you do not know. There is not enough, there's nothing in the world out there that's going to make it to where you walk in and you are the expert of that company on day one. Talk about your plan with people, align with them, ask them if that makes sense. With your executive team, talk to them about, hey, like, does this match your plan? Does this derail you? What would these changes mean to you? Engage and align in that way, and then over communicate it. Always bring back your conversations to that plan. I know for me, I've lived in the startup world for a long time. It wasn't uncommon for me to get with my CEO, and the CEO is so excited that you're there. And it's just like every time you meet with them, it's just a laundry list of things that they want to do. Talk about it back to that plan. Hey, I love all these ideas. I think this is a great direction for us to go. Are these ideas more impactful than the current plan we have in place? Should we reprioritize? Are these things that are achievable now, or is this looking 6 months to a year in advance? Like, have those tough conversations, over communicate that plan and your progress to it. So when someone asks, I don't know about you, but as a VP, I know people have been like, well, I mean, she's not closing deals. So what is she doing? You can say, I'm doing this. I'm doing this plan. This is what I'm focusing on in the first 90 days. And it just gives you that leverage and that collaboration that's so important as you enter in as the new leader on the team.
Super critical. Communication super critical. I mean, not even just the 30, 60, 90, but I would argue, managing up,
Forever.
managing down, managing,
Yeah,
laterally as well. That those comms are so critical.
absolutely.
Another thing that I think a common mistake that some people get, because they get so caught up in maybe the operational aspects of the business,
Right.
is connecting with customers, right? Missing the
Yeah.
chance to talk to them, whether it be, live on calls in person or using like a gong, a chorus, technology. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on,
Yeah.
where that fits into the plan.
Yeah, I mean, voice of the customer is truly the most impactful thing that you can have in any growing or existing successful organization. And voice of the customer comes in a lot of different ways. I highly encourage leaders entering in a new opportunity to take the time to listen to past sales calls. It'll help you understand people's skill sets too. So it kind of helps check two boxes. But listen to past calls, understand the problems that this solution is attempting to solve for people in your pipeline. um, Listen to calls of people who didn't buy, listen to calls of people who did buy. A lot of people miss that step. I don't know why. I Voice of the customer isn't just why you lose, it's why you win too. Like really getting a deep core understanding of why people have purchased that software, that product to date before you arrived was really valuable. And then view the surveys, get with your CS leader, look at if they have, any type of net retention score survey or any type of surveys from marketing that have gone out, UX, UI surveys, all those different things. Like, go read about why people are coming in as strangers, converting to leads than customers, and staying on to influence and be customer advocates. Like, understand why at each stage.
And speaking of communication, right? I think we've talked a lot about, communicating internally, connecting with customers, but I think, there's also an important element to this, which is listening, right? So
Yeah.
missing the chance, or you got to try to foster an environment of feedback, right? And listening. As an executive, sometimes maybe you're doing a lot of things, but making sure you have an ear to the ground and a pulse of what's happening seems to be a pretty critical part of the puzzle as well.
I think especially in the first 90 days, listening is more important than action and talking in a lot of scenarios. So, we talked about managing up, managing down. So let's talk upwards first. You are the new leader in a team. You do have you were brought in to solve a problem, but or to keep momentum going, but you should learn from your executive team and your C suite about how they engage each other. Listen to how they talk, how they solve problems, how they resolve conflict, like all these different things. So, listen, really just be a sponge, ask good questions. Don't just say yes or no. Say, that was really interesting that you went so deep into this area. Has that been an issue in the past? And get to know that core information. Then we talk downwards, downwards and wide, downwards and wide. So as you're listening, like, you want your team to know that you're not coming in and changing their whole life. You're not going to come in and do things to them. You're going to do things with them. You're going to guide them to this new level of success, which means you got to listen. You got to create an environment where they feel comfortable to challenge you and to make you better and to help you learn. And to do that, you have to listen to, you're going to get some people who you listening to them is you listening to them complain. You're going to get some people who come to you and they they are so junior that they want to be a sponge too, and just take the time to learn where they are at today, their ideas, where they see gaps, and then use that to build your plan for 91 days on. It'll help you build that team culture of my leader is here to support me versus I'm here to support my leader.
Yeah, I mean, super critical to get that going from day one, right? And something one of my
Yeah,
mentors taught me or showed me when they joined a company, and I've done subsequently when I've joined other companies, is where possible. Obviously, it depends on the size of the company, but I try to
right.
sit down with most people that are in the business. Definitely everyone in the revenue org, but also cross functionally, like leaders across departments, right? Sales is a team sport. It takes everybody, finance, product, eng, CS, to make this thing work. So why not just start those relationships now, right? Build those, like, understand what's going well, what's not going well, build that connective tissue. I mean, you'll have a major kind of trust factor up front, but I think it sets the stage for how that relationship could be going, in the future as well.
Yeah. I think there's also just a slight misconception about VPs of sales right now out there in the marketplace, which is what I think that they're saying now, the average tenure a VP of sales has at an organization is 18 months. That perception alone changes how people will engage you. Even if that's not true, I don't know a single VP of sales who walks in the door somewhere and says, "Oh, I'm only going to be here 18 months." Like, I mean, no one's going in with that. So, the more we can fight that perception, the more that we can show that the VP of sales is meant to be the heartbeat of this customer led growth motion, the stronger your relationships will be with people that, your executive line, the people that are leading other cohorts within your organization, but also your team will follow you with loyalty because they know that you are there for the long haul, regardless of what actual date you end up leaving the organization.
Couldn't agree more. Love that. Well, thanks, Meg. That's all the time we have for
Yeah.
this episode, but really appreciate you joining us and sharing those insights.
Oh, I would loved being here. Thank you so much.
Awesome. And thanks to all of you for tuning in. Remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tick the bell for notifications so you don't miss an episode. We'll see you next time on Closing Time.